Great. Okay, well, welcome everybody to our team call this week. Thank you so much for taking time out of your night to be on. Welcome to everybody who is on who's brand new or just getting started. Every Tuesday, we do have a team call at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, same Zoom meeting ID every single week. The last Tuesday of every month is always going to be personal development. That will not be recorded, but I do record the other ones, and they will all be uploaded in the website in the team login area. However, when you can call in live, it is so much better. You get to know each other and get to know the team. And I want to congratulate 4 people who hit the Crystal Director Reset by Sunday night. So congrats to, first it was Nicole Constanzer hit it. Then who was second? Shannon was second, then Natalie, and then Brooke. So all 4 of them over the weekend hit Crystal Director for the first time. Really huge, you guys. That's having at least 6 consultants, so major team building. So I'm going to have them share. I think they spoke about who's going to go in what order, but before we have them share, and then I'm going to introduce Emily, who's been amazing at Instagram, and so many people have been asking her questions on Instagram, so she was so sweet, and she's like, I could do a team call and just share everything I know about Instagram with everybody. And I was like, yes, that would be so helpful. So really appreciate her. But what I wanted to just start before we have people share is just to remember that everything is energy. So when we have a team call and other people are presenting or speaking, whether it's that we have a millionaire guest on, or whether it's me, or whether Debbie Sherrick's doing her personal development, or people on our team are sharing, please be present and please be, focused and give your attention. I notice sometimes people looking down at their phones, and, I notice it because I could see you on Zoom unless you get yourself off. And just know that we want to be really, really respectful to the presenters and the people sharing, and that, when you see people looking down most of the call or part of the call, it kind of can be a little bit distracting. So with that being said, do you 4 ladies directors have an order that you'd like to share? I basically asked them if they can just each share something about what it was like to hit director, what they had to do, the mindset, or any big tip. Again, director is having 6 consultants that you personally enroll. So that's major team building. So who's going first? Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and go first. Hi, everybody. I'm Nicole. So my tidbits are, I made up my mind I was going to hit this goal no matter what. I was at consultant just 2 weeks prior to hitting director. To understand, way before that, I stayed consistent with proper connecting, following up, and posting, and visualizing. This is the result of my growth. I knew that when I started, I had to grow myself in order to grow my business. So self-development is key. Highly recommend Mama Bear's self-development calls. It's up to you to provide value. That's a big one. We have the best quality nutrition out there, hands down, the best compensation plan. We have something everybody can afford, but it's on us to show the value of what the individual will get, how it will help them, and your posture is huge when it comes to success. And that's all for me. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nicole. Congrats again. And something that I did challenge Nicole to do was, she did tell me that she's going for this goal, and I said, do you visualize this goal? Do you just really picture yourself at director? I want you to visualize hitting the director. I want you to visualize me texting you congratulations. I want you to visualize the recognition post about it. And I want you to do that every morning and every night. And she's like, no, I don't do that, but I'll start. And she actually sent me a checkmark text every morning and every night, staying accountable that she was actually practicing that visualization. So I thought that was pretty cool too. Who's second? Okay, Brooke.
Yeah. Hi. So my name's Brooke. I was probably the last one to hit this goal. I know I gave my mom and Gina a little bit of anxiety, as well as myself. I will never try and push it to like the last minute before, because it was a huge rush. Like, it was crazy. I actually am going to be a little vulnerable here. In the beginning of the week, I had a breakdown to my husband. I was in tears. I had been racing for this goal, ever since they announced it. and I had a bunch of my consultants fall off. And I just said, you know what? I don't think I'm going to hit this goal. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this time frame. I'm just going to keep enrolling people, but I'm not going to race for the goal. And my husband was like, you could do it. Let's pray. So we prayed, and I just said, you know, God, let your will be done. Whatever you believe in, if you believe in God, you believe in the universe, a higher power. And that next morning I woke up and I saw a quote that somebody posted on Instagram, and it said, it was like a quote from Buddha, and it says, the more you hold on to something and continuously dwell on it, you're actually creating resistance against it. So like, I feel that I was thinking, okay, what if I don't get to director? How am I going to get here? And I was actually creating resistance against getting to that goal. So once I released that and I just said, you know what? Let God's will be done. Let the people come into my life. Whoever I'm supposed to enroll, whoever's supposed to be a consultant, they're going to reach out to me. I'm just going to put my head down and get gritty and start giving it my all and just work. Once I made that decision, people were just come, like Sydney, who's a consultant on here today. She reached out to me on my inbox and on Facebook and said, I've been watching your journey. I've been watching you. What are you doing? I want to be a part of what you're doing. And people just started coming in to my inbox. And so the days that people weren't reaching out to me and I was a little slower, I was reaching out to them. And in my mind, I was like, everybody needs what we have right now, whether it be a health solution with the pandemic going on. Everybody's trying to get healthy, and everybody is looking for a second form of income or a main source of income. So if I'm not enrolling people or rank advancing people, I'm not having enough conversations. So I just block booked my day. Like this past weekend, yeah, I would have rather been on the boat, or the restaurants just opened down here in Florida for the first time. I would have loved to be at brunch or out on a dinner date with my husband, but you have to choose your heart. So yeah, it's hard to just lock yourself in your house for an entire weekend. And I was working from like 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Sunday. I started Sunday morning with one consultant and I created 5 in one day. But I chose my heart. Yeah, that was hard. It was gritty. I was stressed out. I was sweating. There was tears. But it's also hard to stay in the position that you're in and, you know, not grow and not make money. It's hard to stay at the job that you hate. It's hard to stay in debt that you want to pay off. It's hard to go to an event and say, man, I wish I was at that level. That's hard too. So you got to have to choose your heart. And then I had one more thing written down. Give me 1 second. So whether you believe that you can or you can't, you're right. So that second, I was like, I'm not cut out for this. I'm not going to hit that goal. The universe was responding to me. It was like, okay, maybe you're not going to hit that goal. But the second I said, I'm going to do this no matter what happens, I got it. So that's it for me.
Love it, Brooke. Great job. I know you were literally the 11th hour. Oh gosh, it was so much adrenaline. It was awesome. Awesome. So the next is Shannon or Natalie. Who's next?
I can go either way.
Okay.
I don't know that we talked about order. We were like more on what we did. Anyways, yeah. Hi everyone. My name is Shannon. And just to piggyback, obviously, on everything that Nicole and Brooke have said. 100%. Like faith was a really big thing for me through this. Like I remember on Saturday, like my arm, I think I gave myself carpal tunnel over the last like week. Like my arm hurts so bad to even like hold my phone or do anything. But I literally just remember sitting in my office and I was like praying. I was like, okay, who's the last person I need to reach out to? Like who's this person that's going to be? And the next person I reached out to ended up being my sixth. But aside from, faith and just like doing it and things like that, I think my biggest realization through this, because I was a manager going into furlough, but I've also been a manager for 2 years, so like for me, that's just been my steady rank. And I hit furlough and I was like, okay, I'm doing this. Like I have nothing but time. And I truly realized what I was doing, or the do I thought I was doing for the last like 2 years, it wasn't anything of what I could have been doing. And I just want to share, I think, to piggyback on everything they're saying, but also consistency is I know we hear it all the time, but like unless you're tracking what you're doing, unless you know exactly what you did each day, unless you're time blocking, unless you're, knowing your numbers and things like that, like you're really not truly being as consistent probably as you think you are. Like looking back, I realized how many days I was like, oh, I'm tired, I'm just not going to do this today. I'll just post some stuff on Instagram and then like I'll reach out to people tomorrow. And I like, it gets so easy to be like tomorrow. And I didn't realize like how much I was really doing that until I was so intentional the last couple of months. So if your due is 20 minutes, do your 20 minutes. If your due is 3 hours, do your 3 hours. But the consistency, I think for me has like, it's really showed me, the stop and go is truly what was stopping me for the last 2 years. Like I've been for 2 years. So just keep that consistency is going to be my biggest piece of advice in addition to everything the other girls are saying. And I know we hear it all the time, but the stop and go was killing me.
Yeah, that in again, out again really does not cause that momentum needed. You guys see what kind of momentum is needed, right? So absolutely, thank you. Okay, Natalie, you want to unmute yourself? Okay.
Yeah. Hi guys, my name's Natalie. So for me, I mean, they've pretty much said everything, but what I was going to kind of say is one thing Brooke and I talked about, we were kind of holding each other accountable along with the other girls, but at one point I had only 2 consultants, so my others had dropped off. And that was as of Friday. So I just kind of said, I don't know if this is going to happen. So we both said, let go and let God, whatever you believe in. I started to visualize, like Gina said, the recognition and writing down. I wrote down names. I wrote down my goals. I wrote down what I was going to do. And as of Friday, something hit me. I mean, when I saw Nicole and Shannon hit Crystal Director, I'm like, why can't I do that? Like, I can do that. And so that's what I said. They fueled my fire, and literally like Gina and some of the other girls were together for a little get together in the driveway. And I totally ignored them. I shut the world out. I put my head down. I dug in and I dug deep. And I just strategized what I needed where. I leaned in on Gina and Nicole Carter and the rest of my team. Flo helped me a lot. So the team's momentum, the team's energy really helps. And you really have to just think about it. And literally the adrenaline right now is still rushing through me from the weekend. It was incredible. One other quick thing, I know we need to get to Emily, but another advice for you is if you are planning on ever being a consultant, which all of us should be, just at least to get your products paid for, set your auto ship to 29 days and all your back BB order builds up. My husband cycled 15 times when we hit him to consultant. So that was an extra $800 that we did.
Nice, right? And all these girls had a minimum of $1,000 pay week, guys. So, if you are really looking for income, like serious income, you've got to stay the course, be patient. While I'm talking now, Emily, if you want to start sharing the screen so you can get going, you're more than welcome to do that. But yeah, that consistency. But yes, for Natalie's husband, he had every 29 days his order and obviously stayed, active. And when she had him hit consultant, 15 cycles on top of everything else, 15 times 54, if you guys are new, that's the cycles that were just built up. That's how generous this compensation plan is, that he was able to bank off of his wife's work and whoever was connected to that. So make sure that, you guys have your people, they know to stay active. Maybe one day they will want to share. So great job, guys. So with Emily, she just recently turned 30. So she's millennial. She really loves Instagram. She's taught me some new things on Instagram. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Emily, to share some tips that people can start using with Instagram. I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Oh, now you
got it. Sorry. Okay. Hello, everybody. I just want to say first, congratulations to everyone. I'm really, really proud of Natalie. She's my direct upline. So if anybody knows, I kind of am the go-to guru for making graphics for the team. And when Gina asked me to make Natalie's graphic, that she had hit Crystal Director even before she hit it, because she just figured she knew Natalie was going to get it by Sunday night. I remember texting Natalie Monday morning and telling her that by far had been my like favorite graphic I had created this whole time. Are you crying, Natalie? Don't cry. So this is such a great family, and we have an amazing team. And so I am more than happy that I can contribute in some way. Without further ado, here is our Instagram training. So what it is that I have really fallen in love with is how to use Instagram as a way of connecting and what to do, how to attract and like get your engagement up. So one of the things I want to stress most is that we like don't have to have thousands and thousands of followers, because that will come over time. You can build your following from having 100, 200 people. I have 1,600 at the moment, and in all reality, my following goes up and down. At my most, I have like 3,000 people, and then sometimes it'll just drop, and it's just the way algorithms work and how Instagram works, and it's nothing to really insanely stress over, because there are so many people that we can connect with. So I want to just stress that Instagram is not a scary platform. I know it's a lot different than Facebook, because Facebook's been around for a long time. But if you think about it, do you remember back in the day, I may show my age here, but when MySpace was like a thing? So MySpace was first, and then when Facebook came around, I'm pretty sure we all had the same idea of what in the world is this platform and how am I using it. So learning this platform is going to be really valuable to your business, because what Instagram is different. If you follow Flo with her LinkedIn training, a lot of people that are on LinkedIn are looking for building a business and networking, but Instagram, I find is more of something I connect with, because what I really want to showcase about myself is that I'm an influencer, and I want to be a positive light in someone's life, and I want my Instagram to flow and show that. But I still want to remain true to myself. So my goal for everybody tonight, and the reason why I ended up making this PowerPoint, A, is because I have an obsession with Canva, and B is because I wanted everybody to be able to go back and use this if they want to just sort of understand, especially creating your avatar and finding your theme and stuff. I want you to be able to go back to it. It's not too in-depth, but I can answer questions if you have at the end. So my goal for tonight is to share with you just what I've learned, whether that be mistakes that I've made, things I've kind of wasted my time on that I don't really find to be beneficial, creating your avatar, finding your theme, picking out your 5 colors, your highlights, your profile photo, the importance of hashtags, and the difference between stories versus posts. So why Instagram? Hold on. Instagram is a platform, like I said, for the influencer market. Like this picture right here on Canva, if you search Instagram, you'll see tons of influencers on like a photo like this, and she's taking a picture of what looks to be a flatbread kind of lunch snack for her. And people post that to their stories, to their post wall, if that's what she's trying to connect to. She may be a foodie, so that might be one of her go-to hashtags. Most people on IG are looking for opportunity. If you notice a really great profile photo and a planned out bio, they are 100% your people. If you're wanting to grow your business through another platform separate from Facebook, LinkedIn, then Eden Slobin, who has an outstanding Instagram, I highly suggest you all go check her out, says you have to play the game. And what that game actually is, it's not that difficult. This may sound difficult, but I can get into it for you. So what you want to achieve is aesthetically beautiful images. If you go to my Instagram, and I do have a screenshot later in the slide so I can kind of show you, your really gorgeous photos are going to provide your followers value, so that without even talking to you, they're going to be able to say, I totally connect with her. I want to like know more. You can do what I've done, which is pay for trainings. You can read articles, you can watch endless tutorials, or in all reality, just watch other people that you sort of connect with and you vibe with and you feel like they have a really great following and a really great presence to themselves and that they do it right. And you can just follow their lead. And then the most important thing I want to tell you all is really remain true to yourself. So I'm not saying you need to go out and make your Instagram something where you're trying to attract every single person in the world, because that's not real life. You're not going to have everybody like you, and you're not going to have everybody that speaks to you. If you're a boy mom, you're kind of not going to attract girl moms because you're not playing with Barbie dolls and brushing hair and you're not doing those things. So that's not your daily life. Mom life is what you're going to attract. So just remember that you're not trying to attract everybody when you create a flowing profile for yourself. Okay, so the most important thing we're going to talk about tonight is finding your avatar. And I will tell you, this took me a year. And it's not something that happens overnight. I mean, I feel like once I had the right training and I really listened to different people talk about it, I figured out what it was that I was doing wrong when it came to finding my avatar. So, hold on, I have to move my little cameras around. Okay, so I want you guys to understand that you really need to give yourself grace when it comes to learning about this aspect. You need to remain super, super true to who you are as a person. You need to be very specific about who you want to attract in your business. So what I'm trying to say and why this is beneficial or why this is so important is because we are in the business of mastering connection. That's what we do. And so you have to get extremely specific on the type of business partner. This is not friends. This is not followers. You want to attract business partners because that's why we're on this call. This is a team call and we do team trainings about growing our businesses. So you don't just want friends. You want that business partner that you truly desire to have. Every person, desire, quality, and characteristic is different for each business partner that we meet. So when you get specific about the type of person you want as your business partner, it's really important when it comes to creating your avatar. You're not going to create an avatar for each different person that you want in your business. Your avatar has multiple characteristics, and I will tell you who my avatar is and explain what I mean by that. So the best thing to do, I'm a firm believer in writing things down because I feel like it solidifies putting it into the universe. So who I want to attract, you want to give your avatar a name. Like, you know how KK did her training and her boss babe is Sasha Fierce? Okay, so give your avatar a name. And your subconscious, I know we can't really do belly to belly meetups right now. We do a lot of through social media because of what's going on, but your subconscious is going to attract your avatar to you. Okay, just through real world type things. When we go out into the world and you're at the coffee shop, you're gonna start noticing that your avatar is somebody standing in front of you. It could be the barista at Starbucks. It doesn't really matter. So I wanna make sure that I don't have it on the, okay, cool. So my avatar, her name is Audrey, and she's 30 years old. She is married and has 3 boys. And she has a new little puppy dog, and she lives in North Carolina, right outside of Charlotte, still in a small town, but desires that fast city kind of life. She has a beautiful life with an ambition of going to pharmacy school to make lots of money and be on somebody's list of important people. She wants to help her patients. She has a loving personality. She truly loves helping people. She also loves her husband. She calls her husband my husband instead of calling her husband by his name. And she wants to be a leader. She allows herself to share her passion, but instead of consistently going to work and earning an income through a normal everyday 9-to-5 job, she's seeking something else in life. And what she's seeking is Isagenix and what I have to offer her. And so once she realizes that Isagenix is going to be that avenue for her, she learns that she can earn an income from home. And that's because of what I have shown her. So she's excited about life. And really, she has this like blogger look to herself. She's not a blonde haired, blue eyed girl. She's a brunette, but she like really puts herself together and she shows up the right way. So that when people see her, they're like, I want to be her best friend. She looks like a really fun, outgoing person. She rocks the mom life and keeps it completely real. And she is 100% put together. She has what would be beautiful clothing, a beautiful home to live in. Her hair is done. She looks professional. And she is 100% a mom. That's who Audrey is. And that's who I want to attract because I'm a mom. And whether or not Audrey has girls or boys or what her circumstances are, we're going to connect because she's going to say, Emily really has something going for her and I want to know what it's about. So it flows into like what Brooke is saying, right? How she said she attracts people that are like, wait, I really want to know what it is that you're doing because it looks really interesting. So you want to be the person that people are looking for. Okay, so when it comes to your themes and your colors, this part I find to be super easy. This was just a screenshot that I wanted to put on here so you all could see. Hopefully everybody knows, I'm not sure if everybody does at the moment. When you go to change any of your fonts on your Instagram captions, your Facebook captions, anything like that, there's a website. You can just Google it. It's called IG Fonts Changer. And you just type in what it is that you want to write, you copy and paste it. So that's how I got to change the wording in my bio. Your theme needs to be what is going to attract your Audrey to you. So for me, my 5 themes, you can choose like 5 to 6 themes, and that's what you're going to see all down your Facebook posts, like your posts, not your stories, because your stories are a little bit more laxed. But your posts need to be a poster for yourself and who you represent, what you represent, and you as a person, so that without somebody even messaging you, they're going to find your profile and they're going to say, okay, I like her colors. I love this picture of the wings because everybody loves the photo with the wings, like they love backdrops. But the pattern that I hold on my Instagram has changed a lot over time. So my 5 themes that you're going to find no matter what when you go into my Instagram is marriage, because I love my husband, my children, and I'm a boy mom. So most of the time I have a lot of boy mom things, whether it's, you know, I'm a girl and I'm as girly as they come, but I have all boys. And it's kind of insane that I have to deal with conversations that happen in my daily life with my children. There's the health and wellness, because I am very dedicated to getting healthy and losing that baby weight and being fit. I'm really more into my fitness right now. We just moved into a new home. So we are heavily in decorating, and I have a theme for my house that I showcase through my stories most of the time. And then the other thing that I really want to centralize on is the residual income. But when I talk about residual income, I really talk about how it's not such a scary thing. It's actually very attainable. And I want to share that with people, to not be so afraid of our gig and what we do. Okay, so one thing I want to stress to everybody though is please, 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 when you post, don't post for the sake of just posting. If you literally do not have anything to post about that day, who cares? Don't post something because you're like, oh crap, it's like 4 o'clock and I need to post something on my Instagram. It's okay if you miss a day, because you're not going to provide something really valuable to anybody that comes across your profile if you're just posting a picture of your shaker cup for no reason, okay? So you want to keep your posts very congruent to that desire of who you're trying to attract. Okay, and then your colors, okay? Your colors, I cannot stress this enough, are so important. Like almost more important than that caption that you're really trying to come up so hard with. If your profile doesn't have a bright look to it, where it looks fun and light and airy and welcoming, people aren't going to be attracted to it. That's just how people's minds work when they see something. It has to, it goes back to your profile needs to look so aesthetically pleasing and beautiful, but don't shy away from who you are. That's not what I'm trying to tell you. Just understand that at first glance, people are going to want to see brighter colors, and not really like this neon kind of look, just more so like I concentrate on really brightening my photos in a way where they look white. People want, it's an airy kind of look. It's an airy feel. And that is very attracting to people. So cool tones are going to create what is the most aesthetically beautiful page for your followers, and even for people just that come across your profile. The brighter, the better. So you want to brighten your pictures to create a cool and like crisp kind of feel on your page. Your theme and colors need to represent you, okay, and who your avatar is. So understand that at certain times of the year, or the room that you're in, or where you're at a point in your life, your colors will change a little bit. Like I said, if you go to Eden Slobin's profile, her Instagram profile, you'll see that it's very colorful. And she loves to use Pantone. You can go to their Instagram profile, and Pantone shows you a lot of different colors that are very like appealing to the eye. So searching for colors and what goes together is really good on Pantone's Instagram profile. So some of the apps that I use are the Lightroom app. You download that app and they do have presets that are in there. They're different than the filters that you'll find on Instagram just when you go to post something, because they really work on the contrasting and highlighting that you're gonna need for your photos. What I did though, and it took me a while to do this, and it was kind of that whole year that I was really kind of figuring out what I wanted, I debated on doing this. I'm not big on using apps that require any type of purchase. This doesn't require a purchase. However, if you've seen on Facebook, there's always some type of advertisement for light and airy presets. I purchased them one time, and I have 16 different presets that I use all the time on my photos. And so what you'll do is you'll purchase those presets, and then you'll just download them into Lightroom, and then you can use them with all of your photos. Snapseed is another one that I've used. That one's completely free. However, that takes a long time to figure out. I have gotten to a point where I can change a photo's color within like 30 to 60 seconds, but it honestly used to take me forever to do those photos. So those are just two of the ones that I use. Okay, hashtags. Okay, what's the purpose of a hashtag? And yes, they are 100% important, but don't go overkill on your hashtags because it can be too much. I usually try to go up to 20 hashtags. So a hashtag is simply the label for your social media. It makes it easier for people to find your posts that aren't even following you, because they're searching for specific information or a specific theme. So let's say one of the hashtags I always use is #BoyMom. So if somebody goes and they're looking on Instagram under the search bar and they do #BoyMom, my picture is going to come up. And then they're going to click on it and they're going to say, wow, you know, they're going to look through my profile and say, cool, I want to follow her. And you'll engage with followers. So like your avatar, hashtags make it simple for the Audrey to find me, because I'm using specific hashtags to make sure that I'm attracting an Audrey into my profile. It creates a way for social media users to find the content that they're in search of. And then make sure you're using relevant hashtags to your post and who you're desiring to attract. So what I like to do, because it makes it a little bit easier, I don't use every single one, but if you go to Google, you can just search best hashtags for Transformation Tuesday. And there's this best hashtag website. And you just scroll down and it'll literally have #Transformation Tuesday, blah, 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 and it lists probably 20 to 30 hashtags. You can copy it and just paste it right to your caption. Some of them I delete because they are really irrelevant, and I'll add in my own. Like I always #Live to Be Free because that's our team. And I want people to be like, what is Live to Be Free? And when they touch it, they'll see Gina, they'll see Brooke, they'll see, right? Whoever uses that hashtag. So I do not do the number 2. I always type it out, Live to Be Free, okay? Type out the whole word. Sometimes when you do hashtags and you add a number into it, it doesn't really work the same way. And if you add little like emojis, it won't work the same way. When you start to type in hashtags on Instagram, it will auto-populate the most popular hashtags at that time, and you can pick. You want to try and pick the ones that have like millions of uses because they're going to be the most relevant at that time. #Transformation Tuesday is used everywhere, right? So if you do that, and let's say you post, and then a minute later somebody's on Instagram looking for #transformation, your photo is going to come up first and they're going to get to your profile. So most engagement needs to happen within the first 15 minutes of posting. And this is something that I have recently discovered just through some research that I did. So I used to always write my caption and then I would do a bunch of dots and then do my hashtags in my caption. Okay, so the only thing that I found out with that, it's okay to do, but it overcrowds your caption and people aren't going to want to look at it. And because I'm not getting a comment within the first 15 minutes, let's say, the algorithms of Instagram are going to sort of let my photo lag. So what I started to do was post my caption and then go to my comments and click my comment button and do 5 little periods and then put all my hashtags in the comments. And I do that immediately after posting. Okay? So within the first 15 minutes, if you have a comment or you have a like or you have any type of engagement, the algorithms of Instagram are going to be like, okay, hey, this one's pretty popular. Let's put her on the top of like under the hashtag section or account section or something like that. Your photo is going to pop up first. Okay, so your stories versus your posts. When you post on Instagram, you want it to really be congruent to what you're trying to achieve, who you're trying to attract. And so even though your avatar has multiple characteristics, whether because Audrey is a mom, she's 30 years old, she's a brunette, she really puts herself together, her hair is done, her makeup's done, and I'm not talking about full-on glam. She has style and she suggests certain things that she loves, and she loves her health and wellness. There may be one characteristic from Audrey that will attract somebody. Maybe somebody who's in the health and wellness industry, like a gym owner. Maybe it's a guy and he's not really obviously going to be wearing makeup and have, long brown hair, but he's going to be into his health and wellness. So he's going to see my profile, right? And then he's going to understand, like he'll go to my profile and see who I am and can engage that way. So your posts want to be very, very uniform. You want to have a theme. You want to pick those colors. You want it to flow. Your stories are going to be more real life. So for me, it's in the morning when I wake up and I'm drinking a cup of coffee and the boys at 8 o'clock in the morning want to go outside. So I do an Instagram story and maybe I'm not fully done up, but I look presentable and I put a filter on and it's no big deal. So your stories are going to be more of an in the moment kind of thing. They don't really have to be done up and so to your theme, if that makes sense. So like I said, don't post just for the sake of posting. If you can't post, at least try to get a story in. That would be something that would be beneficial for you. Try to do as much interactive like stories as you can. Posts, they'll be there and you'll have one a day and you'll be relevant, but your stories is where most of your interaction is. And something I've found is a lot of people respond. I can have 1,000 people watch my stories in a day, but they didn't see my post. It's just because of what people are attracted to. And a lot of times people really just want to watch your stories. So try to be as interactive as possible. So for me, something I do when it comes to, let's say I want to post about decorating a bedroom in my house. I'll take a picture of a certain wall and I'll say, looking for ideas for this wall, what type of textured pattern should I do? Right? Put a question box or show other photos. Like one time I was trying to pick out faux wood blinds and I had gotten samples. So I took photos of them and I put like a poll so people can interact with you. And then every so often I'll throw something in there about Isagenix because I try not to always overflow with Isagenix because that's really annoying. So in between your stories about your bedroom or your posts or your everyday life, just be like, just made my lunch in 5 seconds, you know what I mean? Just do something super quick like that. So that's the difference between your stories versus your posts. And then that I think was really it for me. And did anybody have any questions?
Hey,
Yes.
I didn't have a question, but on the hashtag live to be free with the
Mhm.
2 spelled out, I stopped using it because somebody had mentioned, always pre-check your hashtags, like kind of scroll through and make sure like there's things in there that you are okay with. And I scrolled down and the live to be free one with the 2 spelled out, and there's like, naked bottoms and stuff on the bottom. So you started using the 2, and there's more of us in the one with the number 2. But there are some like kind of thug looking people at the bottom, but like they're all closed. So I don't know if we want to think about like checking some and like just making one specific and all the team uses it, or what? And then
You could. So that would be a good idea. So depending on which one I do, it'll come up with like most popular and you can see which ones, because there's like 4 different that say live to be free. So usually I post and I'll use one that's more relevant to what I'm looking for. So it just depends. If we have one, and like Gina, if you want to start doing like actually live to with the letter B, we can do that. And then if all the team uses it, it's going to become more popular and more popular. So it'll show up where it's being like so relevant.
Yeah, I usually think I do the number 2 because I think when you pull that up, you'll see a lot of my posts.
Yeah. And
That's good to know, though. I guess freedom for some people means freedom of clothing.
Yes.
Thank you, Emily. That was great. I was going to ask about the hashtags in the comments because I noticed some people do that. So thank you for covering that.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else have any specific questions?
Tiffany, how many colors do you recommend? It sort of depends. So I have, if you saw let me see. Hang on. Let me just pull up and I can screen share again. Where's my Zoom? Okay. So here, Tiffany. So this is my Instagram. Okay. And if you go to my profile, you'll see these colors here. Okay, where it says Isolate the Business, Charlie. So you'll see that I try to keep it with like blues, greens, purples, same thing. Unless I'm doing like a team photo, then I do our colors for our team photos. But I try to keep my colors pretty consistent. Some people have, I think Gina has a lot of pinks on her profile, but these were the 3 colors that I really resonate with. I'm like a pastel lover. So you can do one color for your entire profile and it'd be absolutely fine. And you can do 6 colors. Just your themes, you want to kind of keep between like 5 or 6. You don't want to go like crazy with it. And then your highlights, either you can do the colors for your highlight, like for this. Does everybody know how to do this, the highlight cover photo? I can't see the chat, so some people might have to say yes or no. So for this, I can do a video. I can do a video to show everybody how to do that. And actually, these, like the wording here, I literally used Canva. So, so I use Canva for a lot of things. But you'll see like one of the things I really wanted to try to do now, and this was like a couple weeks ago, I decided to make a pattern with my Instagram. Don't delete what you've done before. It's really fun to see how much you've grown. And sometimes it's really fun to go back and laugh at. I mean, my Instagram from like years ago when I first started was absolutely horrendous. But it's fun to go back and see where I was in my life. And you know, when people get farther up, like to now, they'll be like, dang, Emily has really, really changed and matured. And she is 30 and fabulous. So, you know, like that's kind of what I like. So don't change what you did before. Let it be what it is and just keep going. So now my pattern is going to be quote, real photo, quote, photo, right? But you'll see based off of my highlights, okay, you have a fitness, health and wellness, a quote for like healthy mind, my dog, I'm a mom, I drink coffee, you know what I mean? Like those are my themes. That's what like I want to represent. That's what I want to show. So that's something that needs to be showcased. And what I would actually do is go back and ask yourself, like if you're kind of stuck as to what you're going to do to post, just kind of go back and say, okay, when was the last time I posted something about my husband? And if it was 2 weeks ago, make a post about you and your husband, if that's one of your themes. You want to make sure that you're staying relevant to your theme, or else people are going to be like, okay, well, she loves her husband so much, but like she never posts about him. So that's something that you want to remember to do. You don't want to post the same thing over and over and over and over again. And every time you do like transformation photos, if you're doing that for your business, you don't really want to do, this was my own personal photo, so I posted it. But something that I'm noticing more of, people really don't want to see that in your posts. It's not going to be relevant. It's not going to look aesthetically pleasing because you're going to have, and I can say this because I was overweight with mom bod. You don't want to see somebody that's overweight and then like a skinnier version of themselves. Stick to that in your stories so that people can see those transformations and you can post more of them. And then I think there was, what was one of the other questions that was on there? Somebody else had a question.
I was wondering, how do you manipulate the colors? Like, are you manipulating the colors of your quotes essentially?
No, my quotes, either sometimes I rewrite them in Canva. I do spend a lot of time. I will say this. This is work. This is part of our job. If you want to attract people, you do not want to attract the masses. You want to really stay true to who your avatar is. So first things first, you need to really, really hone down on who is your avatar. Name that person, make them a real person, right? and really figure out who that is. Once you figure out who your avatar is, you can sort of play around. And so certain quotes you're going to post are going to speak to Audrey, right? And she's going to be like, oh, I really love that. And just maybe message me and be like, I really love that quote. And then you start connecting that way. But the quotes, I don't ever change the filters on, because usually it's just how I always wanted it. If you go on Pinterest, you'll find so many, like one of my Pinterest boards is quotes to live by. And I always find quotes that I love, that I want to manifest. And those are my affirmations that I live by. And that's how I pray and things that I do that way. So that's what I usually do. My photos of like myself, if it's me first thing in the morning, I'm drinking a cup of coffee and my kid is photobombing me like you saw on my profile, I'm 100% putting a filter on that. So like that's sort of the difference. The quotes you don't, but you want to make them, that's when I'll use Canva to kind of make sure it's to my theme, like my colors.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
then Rocky, you had 2 questions, right?
Yes, sorry. Thank you so much, Emily, for this. Like, you guys, I'm just mind blown. I am so excited that, like, I believe things happen for a reason, and all of you have been put in my path for that reason. You guys are on fire. So thank you so much for all the knowledge. My 2 questions were, 1, do you use Planoly or Later to put like all your content? Because I also own a business, like an actual 9-to-5 business. So I'm trying to do all the social media accounts, and I'm like trying to find out from the experts, especially if I'm going to pay for a service. And the second thing, it is maybe not now because I don't want to waste anybody's time, but I did not understand the whole hashtags on the comments. So I would love to sidebar with you if that's possible.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are 2 really simple questions. So it's the hashtag part. Let's do that first. So when you post, like you'll put your photo, you'll put your caption, post it, right? And then go to your comments, like comment on your own post, right? But to space down so that it looks kind of cute, you'll put just period, enter, period, enter. Do it 5 periods. And then hashtag away. Okay. And then Planoly is what I use. I don't do Later. I haven't tried that one yet. Planoly, I haven't, I don't pay for it. I don't use the one that like you have to pay for. The one that you have to pay for is more so, I think that's when you want to do it for your stories. I did do a trial of that and it doesn't make any sense like at all, because you can't plan your stories out. That's supposed to be in real time. So if you're at work and you can pick up your phone to do something super quick, 100% do it. If not, and you can make a post and plan it out, absolutely do it. Just make sure, one of the things I learned, because when I was still working my job before I quit to do this full time, I did not have really good cell reception at my job because I worked in a pharmacy and we were all the way in the back, like of a concrete building. And if you do not have good service, it will not post. So once I got service, my post for 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, because I was always at work at those times, were posting back to back. And it was so pointless because people weren't finding my posts. Because if you post too much, it becomes redundant and the algorithms will shut you down. So you want to keep it spaced out and just make sure you have really good service to do it. But I do use Planoly. And because I do this full time, I really haven't been using it because I'm home all the time. But if you're busy, absolutely, yes.
Is Planoly for Instagram only?
Yes, but you can link your Facebook to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I just wanted to tell you guys something, I think it was Brooke that brought up about utilizing Isagenix in your post. So I wanted to share something. So once you're an executive with Isagenix, and you maintain and you enroll 2 new people per month, you are in their executive lifestyle group, and you get a bonus every month. That's one perk. And the other perk is that you're in a pool of executives that get anybody that goes on Isagenix.com to order or to enroll, they assign to one of those executives that qualify. So I always, you get the email and their information, and I reach out to them. And so one girl, she replied to my text and she wanted to get on the phone. And when we were chatting, she said, well, I saw my really good friend post on Facebook about Isagenix and how she was loving her results. So that's why I went and searched, and I ended up, buying the system online. And so I just didn't even know that you get to work with somebody or anything like that. And so my first thought was her poor friend, because she said really good friend, but she had no idea. She had no idea that her friend was probably doing a power post or something. So it's really important, especially when you start out, or especially when you don't think that your people that are your audience know that this is legit for you, that you don't say the word Isagenix or what you're doing, because they can innocently, like this girl did, go on to Isagenix.com or Google it because they saw their friend, not knowing that they should go through their friend. So I would really, really urge you to create curiosity. Once you're years in, you're, maybe at events and people know you're with the company, you can put the name in there here and there. I still don't do it often, but I also don't want to pretend I'm hiding it because I've been in the company so long. But in the beginning, you want to create curiosity. You want your audience to private message you or comment like, hey, what is that? What's that cleanse that you're doing? Or what's that shake that you are talking about? Or how did you lose those 5 pounds? So you want to create curiosity so that you can avoid that. Not only that, but this girl said her husband was interested. So I was like, well, do you have another person? Because I can show you how to get paid. And she was very into that. So I could have a new consultant that was given to me because she saw her friend post on social media and went on the website. So, I feel bad for her friend. I don't know who it is, but it's still just the point. The other thing is I posted a transformation, a girl who had a 30-day transformation. She had her bikini on, and I put it in my stories, and I got 3 people within an hour contact me. So the transformations are great. I put them in Instagram stories and Facebook stories because probably doing a lot of transformations on your wall could be redundant. And that could be like, oh, all she posts is people's before and afters. But when it's in the stories, it has a different feel, I think. I always seem to get people to respond better to that. So I just wanted to add that.
I just saw something, and I just want to touch on that quickly. So I saw, if I go back, Karen was asking about like the privacy part. It is not the same on Instagram that it is on Facebook. You know how you can change on Facebook where if you're posting publicly to your friends or friends that you tagged and things, you can't do that on Instagram. The only thing you can do on Instagram is change the privacy of your entire profile, meaning people can follow you, but they have to request to follow you. So you can have a public or a private profile, but people really won't be able to find you that way. So if you're looking to expand, something you could think about doing is really making your Instagram more business. And if you want to touch on one of your themes being that you're a mom, Karen, and you're posting about your kids, do like what famous people do and don't post your kid's face, right? Like do a hindsight picture where you're behind them and you're taking a picture of them sitting playing, right? So you're taking a picture and you're playing to your theme of being a mom, but you're not putting their actual face out there. So that would be my suggestion. And then Paula did ask me to, and I wanted to kind of touch on that. I do have a business profile. The only thing with that is it links to, you have to have like a page, like our Live to Be Free page. That's how you link it to Facebook. So I always have to separately share. And one of the things I'm thinking about doing is just going back to a non-business, like a personal Instagram, only so that I can share to my Instagram by like a click of a button. And then the only difference really with business Instagram accounts is the fact that there's different buttons for people to contact you. So there's a promotion, which you have to pay for promotions. So it's not really like worth it to me because I don't pay for that stuff. but there is actual ways for people to contact you. So, or go to your website and things. So that's the only benefit to it. But I try not to. I used to all the time do hashtag Isogenics, hashtag Isolife. And it really, it kind of bites you